right now to present on mentorship is one who worked from coast to coast. From east to west. Yes. One who joined the club. I think it was under my vice president, my membership ship. My vice president of membership ship. I inducted this particular member. This was November 2009. Oh man, he was something. Fellow Toastmaster and guest, it has been a great pride to bring this member up. He has done such a great job. Fellow Toastmaster and guest, let's recognize the one and only, the only coastal engineer in the entire Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster, past president, Carlos Palacious.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, gentlemen. Gents, can we have you all come this way, please? I would like to start off this presentation
Everybody sit. Mr. Sergeant at Arms.
by first of all asking by a raise of hands a quick poll. How many persons in here consider themselves or come here to learn to be a mentor? If you came here to learn to be a mentor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, about half. If you came here because you want to learn how to be a better mentee, raise your hand. Okay. So we're pretty balanced. So a part of this presentation, which will be very brief, will be understanding some tangible ways that we can improve, one, our mentorship ability, and two, our receptiveness as mentees. Has anyone ever walked into a situation where they were unsure how it would end up? Has that ever happened to anybody? You're unsure how it'll end up.
My first time.
That is exactly the situation that you get yourself into when you decide, Toastmaster Thompson, that you will invest your time and your energy in creating a mentor-mentee relationship. Many of my mentors are here this evening, and I'll start with one who many always say I probably share one of the closest relationships with. That's Keith Major. Keith Major would have started this mentor relationship by simply hounding me every meeting. He would tell me my shoes are brown and leaders do not wear brown shoes. He would tell me my jacket on my coat was buttoned up too many times. He would tell me my report font was too big and therefore it would get sent back when I was treasurer. He approached me as an aggressive mentor. I remember asking him one day, Toastmaster Keith Major,
Why you don't like me?
why do you not like me? Why do you continually attack me in everything that I do? He told me, those who the Lord loveth, he chaseth.
He put that on you?
That's what he said. Fellow Toastmasters, I want you to understand there are different languages of love. And the same way there are different languages of love, there are different ways that people will reach out to you. If I had responded to Toastmaster Keith Major in an aggressive way, in the natural way that I wanted to respond by saying, you know what, Toastmaster Keith Major? Man, push out, man. I ain't got time for this foolishness. Then the relationship and the growth and the learning that I would have had from that would have been lost in the process. Toastmaster Craig Ferguson, another one of my mentors. He would have approached me early on by saying, welcome to the club, son. Don't be afraid of failure. He said, you came in this club with a reputation of your parents. He said, take this time to establish what your own is. Craig Ferguson's language of love is one that's caring. Is one that is always providing the emotional support you need. So, lesson number one, understand the language of the people who are willing to invest in your life. Understand the language of the people who are willing to invest in your life. Because when you realize that, you'll come to appreciate that there are different roles that different mentors play in your life.
Absolutely.
Remember, none of us are perfect. Whether you've met the one who you're married to, whether you have kids, you'll find flaws in everyone, no matter how much you love these people.
I tell you.
And it's the same thing with your mentors. They're not perfect.
No.
One can mentor your relationships and your life. They might have been through something and they can help you with that. Other people might, like Toastmaster Dwight Burris, might be multi-millionaires and can tell you how to deal with your finances. The point is, no matter where you are and who you are, there's someone who is willing to help you get to the next step. But you also have to know how you are willing to learn. You have to learn your own love language. And a part of understanding your own language is understanding what you bring to the table. And that is called reverse mentoring.
Okay.
Reverse mentoring, and you can Google that. Reverse mentoring is teaching persons like Toastmaster Keith Major, who's a managing director of an insurance company, what cryptocurrency is.
What?
Reverse mentoring is teaching persons like Toastmaster L. Edgar Moxie how to access and use his LinkedIn page effectively to market himself as the chairman of a large organization. The reverse mentoring is understanding that everyone brings something to the table. So while you look to your mentor to better you, you also have a role as a mentee to serve as the mentor to your mentor.
Oh.
Let me repeat that.
Yeah.
You have a role as the mentee to serve as a mentor to your mentor. Does that make sense?
Yes, indeed.
So while you look to this person, to help you and help better you and help give you certain points, and you'll look through their strengths and their weaknesses. Because a part of life is understanding. A lot can be learned not from people's successes, but from their failures along the journey. When you look at their failures, you also understand that while you're younger, you can relate to the challenges they might be having with their kids. Remember, the majority of employees are how old? Our age, right? So persons like Dwight Burroughs, who are running entire regions of their company, are managing people like us.
Wow.
How can we help a Dwight Burroughs manage his staff who's my age better than he would have done without me? When I understand how I can also feed and put myself back into the relationship, then you create a language of love that's built on strength. That's built on strength. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep on.
So,
You're doing good.
what have we talked about thus far? We talked about the importance of identifying what you're looking to get out of the relationship. We've talked about understanding how you can give and you can take. But what's important in any relationship?
Communication.
Communication and what? Trust.
Absolutely.
There has to be the highest level of trust.
He said he's gonna be
Because you will go and you will share parts of your own journey. And this person will share parts with you. And if you break that trust, then the entire relationship will fall apart. So it's important to make sure that while you're sharing, that you're keeping these things as a serious part of who you are. Because the minute you break that trust, the relationship will break down. Does that make sense? All right. So, if we look at the fact that you identify different people, you look at the fact that you create trust and you understand each other's language, then you can look at the fact that your potential can be greater than you ever imagined. I'll give you an example.
Please do.
Toastmaster Keith Major once told me, he said, Carlos, why are you always looking around for someone to follow? He said, people are following you. He said that leadership is a lonely journey. He said the more money you make, the further you get, the more successful you become, the more other people around you will realize that they might not be moving at the same pace. He said at every stage of life, you identify persons who are moving at the same pace as you. What does that mean? At every different stage, the mentor might not be a Keith Major. The mentor can be someone right and set with you. The mentor can be someone younger than you. The mentor could be someone with the emotional intelligence that you might not have. Determine what your 80-20 is. We all have things we're very good at. We all have things we're not very good at. When we can look inside of us, be honest with ourselves, and determine the things we're not good at, but are hindering us from being our best self, then we can identify the people who can help us to be there. Toastmaster Rodney Bain is a prime example. Toastmaster Rodney Bain is someone who came into the program, took the program seriously, and finished his CC faster than almost anyone I know.
Wow.
Toastmaster Rodney Bain is a mentor of how the Toastmasters program should be operated. Just because we're in set with him doesn't mean we should look up to anyone else as much as we look up to someone like him. Someone like Anson Munnings, who came in and stood during his icebreaker and stuttered the entire time. The entire time. Is now the VPE of this club. Gents, don't only look to the successful people like the Keith Majors and the Craig Fergusons and the L. Sidney Saunders. Look amongst yourself. All right? Determine how we as a people can continue to create a larger whole sphere of love. And I keep using the word love. Because love is honestly one of the most genuine things that can lead to change. When you're faced with some of the greatest challenges of life, and that's where mentors can bring you through, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a lost job, whether it's just the challenges of meeting your finances, whether it's problems with your kids, it's the love that you created with your fellow brothers and sisters, with your mentors, that will bring you through that. Mentors change as your lives change. Mentors will grow with you and you'll leave some behind. But remember that as you continue to grow, focus on identifying your strengths and weaknesses so that you can determine what you need to work on. Identify those persons who are willing to invest in you and how they connect with you. Determine your trust factor to make sure that you never break that and you protect that. And make sure that no matter what, you always create a sense of loyalty, dedication, and growth. Gents, I hope that this has been something that helps to add to your lives. And please, feel free to give me a call at any time. Thank you very much.
Let's thank Toastmasters Carlos Palacious for keeping it brief. Keeping it brief.
That was very brief.
Absolutely.